Nice. Alright, the Mad Max. Alright, I'll try it. Thanks. That's a tough question because it's nobody and everybody. As long as I'm there, the Wanton Bishops are there, and it's a big family now. It became a big family. It started with Eddie, then Salim got in, then he got out, and Salim was a cousin to Eddie as well. So I mean, he's Eddie's marrying Salim's cousin someday. So it's a whole big family, and the guys that I have tonight with me, Georgie and Pascal and Antonio, they're friends with Eddie and Salim. So it's a whole big family, and whomever can come with me comes. Problem is in Lebanon you don't have proper touring musicians because everybody has a day job that they cannot lose. So touring for 6 months becomes a problem. So it's a big family, incestuous family, probably. See, it's really the natural course of things. Any artist just wants to evolve, experiment, know new things, and I personally got involved in a lot of synths and a lot of analog beat machines and stuff like that, and I like them. So the blame is on me. Like nobody influenced me to do that. I just did that, and I like it. I don't mind it at all. I think I'm gonna keep some of it. I'm gonna, at some point you find the balance. So if you go for an uber experimental kind of EP, you find the balance with whatever you used to do. But what there's more of on this EP is a lot of oriental scales coming in. That's our origins. That's what I'm proud of the most on this EP. It's I wouldn't think of it as a strength. I would think of it as a lack of willingness to represent anybody but ourselves. We just want to represent ourselves. We don't want this responsibility, just like everybody else nowadays. Like if you want to be, out there supporting someone, you just do it via click on Facebook or whatever. Like you just don't go in the streets anymore. It's a shame. It's unfortunate. But our way of seeing things is that it will never infiltrate our lyrics. Since I write the lyrics, I know this decision is made. If I will talk about anything political or social or that that touches society as a whole, I will do it through the legs and the arms of a lovely woman. It'll always be from an intimate perspective that I'll explain social or just talk about anything I want to talk about. So it's to me it's the best angle. The intimate angle. I would go for the rational answer and say it's a mix of both because it's beautiful to create. I love it, but my part of the creation when it comes to writing the songs is I just write the basic stuff of it, and I get bored with the technicalities, the chords and the sounds and trying to nail that sound. I'm not a geeky guy. I'm not a geek. I would love to be. But that's not me. So I lay down the basic songwriting stuff, and then the guys take it from there, and they love that shit. So it's fantastic. But to me, playing live just beats it. It's the best thing in the world. That moment you got up on stage and you just saw the crowd there just waiting, and you have them. And if you don't, you need to have them. World domination, just like just like any other army out there. No, honestly, I'll be humble about it. Not humble, but truthful about it. I would say just to be able to keep doing what we're doing. But that means a lot of things. That means a certain level of success and comfort to be able to do it. So yes, selling more records, getting to more people to know us, and touching them on a really intimate level, in their hearts and their souls, and playing more, and making more music out of nothing. This concept fascinates me. When you go to the studio or live even, and you create something out of nothing. And then the moment you do it, it doesn't belong to you anymore. It's out there. And everybody will think what they want of it. It's crazy. I would remember once we were in Amman in Jordan. We were playing a show and it was a good 800, 900 people out there. And at some point, the reason was ridiculous, by the way. At some point, a guy licks the leg of someone else, of someone else's woman, right? I mean, it takes a lot of effort to just go down there and lick her leg, and then a brawl just breaks out, and it's mayhem down there. And we're still playing, and then I jump into the crowd, I get punched a couple of times, I go back up. It was a nice night, the way we love it. So that combines both, worst and best, probably. Good God. I would love to have just one word. He was a good man. He was a good man. That's it. That's all I try hard to achieve. Being in the music business, it's tough to be a good man. I try to be truthful to whatever I try to do, and I hope it works. I hope that's what people would remember.
Okay.
It's simple, really. I won't go for the god of cock and god of rock and roll now. Like, simple, just, he was a good man. Yeah, come on. That sweet child of theirs. Yeah, Guns N' Roses. What am I supposed to talk about it now?
Pourquoi c'est...
Why is it relevant to me? Well, we once did the warm-up for Guns N' Roses back in Beirut. They did not have Slash, so it was all Axl, fat-ass Axl. And, but well, I allow myself to say that because he was a dickhead, he was an asshole. We waited for a good, hour or hour and a half to meet him, and he didn't just bother to come out and meet us. I'm not even a fan, really. I mean, since I was there, and it's fucking Axl Rose, right? You gotta shake his hand, and it didn't happen. Next thing they tell us, he already left, and we're just waiting by his door. He had a back door, and he just, left. But a great solo on this one.
Okay.
Oh God, how the fuck did you get that? Oh my God, that's some Greek Catholic or Orthodox liturgic music. That's what I was born and raised on. I was in a seminary school, believe it or not. I was supposed to be a priest. Yeah, well, they take you when you were a kid and they just feed the shit out of you out of prayers, and it's sort of the Eastern equivalent of gospel, and that's where I learned music properly. I mean, without really knowing, but I was learning music. I was singing all this in Greek and in Arabic. And it's just a brilliant world, really. I would love one day to just go to a Greek church, find these monks, and bring the guys and collaborate with them, do something mystical with them. I should work on it. Yeah. Nice. I need to wait a little bit. Need some vocals now. What's that?
String rocks.
No, is it Junior? Ah, oh baby, yeah. She's a country girl. Is it a country girl?
She's a sweet one.
Okay. Well, Junior taught me how to play the harmonica, literally. He was my favorite artist. Obviously, I failed the test now, but it's one of his least known songs. Junior, the simplicity that he played with was ridiculous. I mean, if you heard Little Walter was a bird. He played that Mississippi saxophone, they called it. That's how fancy he played. But still tasteful. And all the other cats played like James Cotton played hard and dirty. Junior was tasteful and just succinct. He just played enough because he was more of a singer. And that's what's interesting in his approach. So even his solos are empty. Like they breathe. He doesn't overdo it. And that's what I loved about him. And the fact that he was with a gun on stage constantly. He always carried a gun. You know, that's Junior for you. And his collaboration, I mean, his tight work with Buddy Guy as well. They made the new Chicago sound. You know, on that Hoodoo Man record. And that was what made Chicago Blues eventually. I mean, after Muddy Waters and all that, when Muddy Waters got to electric, these cats made the Chicago sound. And Buddy Guy is still a legend of Chicago until today. No, that's the Lakshmi. Wait a minute. This is Lakshmi Shankar. What's the family? Oh shit. No, I'm not a fan.
Not a fan of you?
Not at all. Not at all. I don't like them. Yeah, no. I'm more of a Zeppelin or Rolling Stones kind of guy. Yeah, I know the whole McCartney, Lennon stuff, just beyond me. I'm not. Eddie, on the other hand, is a major Beatles fan. Salim as well. All the guys. Not me. I'm more of a Jagger, Jagger swagger.
Why?
Or the Kinks. I'm more of a Kinks kind of guy. You know, the Kinks. That would be my band, my British band my band from the 60s or the 70s. Simple, efficient, just great tone, lyrics just enough for what you need. Less on the experimental side, I give you that. The Beatles were very experimental, and I might like that about them. But I would, if I want to go towards the experimental stuff, I would go towards Led Zeppelin and Robert Plant. And what Robert Plant is doing now. We played with him in Switzerland, and what a brilliant ethnic mix that he brought to his music. I like it better than the Zeppelin stuff. That's blasphemy to a lot of Zeppelin fans. But no Beatles for me. I apologize. I mean, I'm pretty sure they don't like us, so probably they don't care.
Hey, on proteste. 1, 2, 1. Hey.
I'm supposed to know this. What's that, is that Ras?
What?
Ras or Farik Atrash? Or Chino?
It's
Reis Beck. Yeah, these are the hip hop cats back in Beirut. I know them personally, but I'm not familiar with their music. Still produced by Fadi Tabal, our producer, our genius producer from back home. I gotta admit it, I'm not a rap kind of. I have a problem following the debit, really. The debit is way too fast for me. I might appreciate the poetry. Musically, it's the redundancy of it that just gets me. I mean, I'm trying to be analytical here. But I'm pretty sure they don't like what we do. Or maybe they do, but, whatever. I appreciate the lyrics of them. Only problem as well is that I would love a rap song about love. And not the streets and, the fights and the police and but that's me. Like, just love. Is that Dig Dale? Wasn't it? Dick Dale.
No, it's James Bond theme.
Yeah, isn't it Dick Dale who played that?
I don't know.
I think it's Dick Dale. That's the surf guitar of Dick Dale. For the anecdote, I'm not sure though. For the anecdote, Dick Dale's real name is Nader Mansour. I think we're related. I would like to think so. Yeah, but the whole Bond enigma and British class that the Bond franchise has, I'm totally in love with that. Totally. I even had to try to simulate that in our latest music video, Hitman. I don't know if you've seen it. There's a mix between the whole Narcos, Netflix bullshit going on now, and the Bond era and vibe. So it's like Bond in the 70s, whatever they did in the 70s. The Lebanese version. And for the anecdote, to get inspired for our music video, we watched a lot of, because the Americans were pissed at the Bond franchise, right? So they tried to do a lot of movies. The Germans tried as well, with spies, classy spies and elegant, just the charmeur. And they failed miserably. But the movies are really nice. I mean, if you watch them, forgetting about box office and whatever, the movies are really nice. Very badly edited, very badly acted. The sounds are not the same as, the sounds are not well synchronized, and I love that. For instance, in back then, whatever you saw on camera, you heard. That's a technique that I did not know. We tried to simulate that in our music video. So if, let's say I'm standing here, there's a sea behind me. If the camera's over there and you see the sea, you will hear it. But if the angle is from over here and the sea is still near, and you have a car, you just hear the car. And we had so much fun doing that. Now these guys are royalty. That was the class. We've opened for several people, but when we did the Who, it was just, I don't know, these guys watched the whole show. They spent an hour and a half with us, talking to us, per song. Like, you could have done this and that on this song, it would have sounded better maybe, you know what, I don't know, try it. And they were very specific. Took pictures, shook our hands, had drinks with us, absolute rock and roll royalty. It doesn't get better, it doesn't get bigger, it doesn't get classier. Nothing to say. And they even keep in touch. I received a couple of emails from a certain Pete. Like, that's lovely. Like, Sir Pete, for fuck's sake. So this is class versus Mr. Axel. Is it going to start? How am I supposed to get it? That's a long intro. And that's Yasmin. That's Yasmin Hamdan. Yeah. I recognize her from the voice of the song. Yasmin Hamdan and Zayd Hamdan. When we were kids back in Lebanon, they had a band called Soapkills. And this band was legendary. We all grew up listening to this, and they were the pioneers of the underground scene. Whatever that was not played on radios, whatever that was underground, these cats did it. Now they split a few years back. He's still doing his stuff, and she's doing her stuff. She's out there. She's in France now. She lives in France, and she tours often. Big respect, and I like the sensuality that she oozes and emanates. I've watched her a couple of times. It's impressive. If you're a man, you want to make love to her. If you're a woman, you want to make love to her. Or just like the effect is the same. It's ridiculous. Musically, it's very mystical and just out there. Lyrically, I wouldn't know. I'm not focused enough on her lyrics, to be honest. I'm just mesmerized by the whole thing, which is a good thing. you know, you don't end up just waiting for the lyric. Yeah, she's cool.